Hey guys, what's good? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. I am in the kitchen. We're going to be eating. We got some Taco Bell. Okay, Kathy will be joining us as well. She just went to go potty first. See, this is why I don't like to have co-hosts. Because the co-host ain't ready.
Hey!
There we go.
Hey.
Well,
How y'all doing?
well, since you did all the research,
I did, guys. I'm very nervous.
you can go ahead and start.
Okay, guys. Okay, guys. This is the story of the haunted LaLaurie Mansion. So this fat bitch.
I'm hungry. Go ahead.
Okay. The haunted LaLaurie Mansion is located in New Orleans, Louisiana. 1140 Royal Street, New Orleans, Louisiana. 70116, like that's a zip code. I believe it is now like a museum, or like you can go visit it.
Oh, that's creepy as hell.
Yeah.
Creepy as hell.
Yeah. I think it's been a lot of things since it was like the LaLaurie Mansion and everything went down in it. It's been like an apartment. It was a school at one point. Like, yeah. After all the hauntings and stuff.
That is so creepy.
Let's get into the history of said house.
Also, I am starting off with my Doritos Locos Tacos.
Period. I'm gonna take my first sip of this drink.
Of course, hot sauce. Oh, is that the new strawberry one?
It just tastes like a strawberry freeze.
Oh yeah.
Why is it called the LaLaurie Mansion? Are you wondering that?
I think it's because of Madame LaLaurie, right?
Madame LaLaurie. Right.
I did some research.
Marie Delphine McCarthy. That was like her government name. She was born in France.
She's about to give us her social security number.
Her nickname was Madame Blanc, which means Miss White.
Does she like to do cocaine?
No, I don't know.
Okay. I just thought Blanc, white, cocaine. Only one?
Well, she was born on March 19th, 1787. She died on December 7th of 1849. She was 62, I believe.
Oh, llegó a ser viejita.
Yeah, she was an old lady. She had 3 husbands total.
Okay.
Yep. Her first 2 husbands did die and leave her widowed. And her 3rd husband was Leonard Nicholas. They got married in New Orleans. During her marriage in New Orleans, she was considered a socialite and a serial killer who was believed to, have tortured many people in her home, in her mansion, the LaLaurie Mansion. Ooh. Start with my crunch wrap.
April 10th, 1834, there was a massive fucking fire that broke out.
When first responders arrived on the scene, they went up to the attic. They discovered multiple, like, malnourished, beat-up slaves. Chains on them. They had, what's it called? Well, yeah, like
shackles?
Yeah, they had shackles on them. They were, like, dead-ass, like, locked up in the attic. They had, like, a lot of wounds on them. They were clearly, like, eaten. Some were, like, whipped. Like, that girl had no mercy for her slaves.
Oh, wow. One thing about Madame LaLaurie, although, like, we're talking about how much of a vicious monster she was, to the community, she seemed to be really great. I know we just talked about the slaves that were found in her attic, but overall, the community says that she was actually really pleasant and really nice to everybody and was always worried about the well-being of others, including African Americans. So, very strange. Very strange lady. There was 12 deaths documented in the LaLaurie Mansion. They didn't have like this is why they died. Like, no one... Okay, bitch, but if that many people have died in your home, what the hell you doing in your home?
There is this one lady that was, her slave. She was the cook and the laundress. I don't know what that is, but I think that means she did the laundry.
That did the laundry.
So, from what I inferred, I'm not sure if she's the one that started the fire that day. And it's said that the kitchen of the LaLaurie Mansion is very, very haunted because they would have their chef chained up in the kitchen and she couldn't go anywhere. Would never let her daughters cook for themselves. If anyone wanted something, they would have to go to the chef and the chef would have to make it. Didn't matter if the daughters wanted to do it. No, the chef had to do it. Juliet was her first daughter. She wasn't the first one to die. She died on February 21st of 1833. So she died at 13. She was still very, very young. But that was her oldest daughter. Not the first one to die, though. Her second daughter was the first one to die. This is Florence. Florence died on February 16th, 1831 at age 10.
Oh.
Yeah, she was really... the ages only get younger.
So the third daughter to die was Jules, and she died at age 6 on May 29th, 1833. And then the very last daughter to pass away died at age 4. Her name is Lionette, and she died on August 26th, 1833.
LaLaurie Mansion was getting so many, like, complaints about, you know, people screaming from the house that eventually, like, the public sent out a lawyer to go investigate to see what was going on and to, like, remind her of what you could and couldn't do with, like, enslaved people at the time, because they obviously were already, like, they didn't have rights at the time, but they were developing, like, protection, you know, for them. So obviously you couldn't treat them like shit. They're still people, right? Of course.
Heard that, Donald Trump?
At one point, there was this little girl named Leah. I don't know if she was, you know, one of the slaves' daughters or something, but she was also enslaved at the LaLaurie Mansion.
Oh.
And at one point, one of the LaLaurie Mansion neighbors said they saw a little 8-year-old girl running around the house and on top of the roof. And apparently what had happened that day was that Leah, the little girl, was brushing Miss LaLaurie's hair. And apparently it got, like, stuck in the brush, like she had a knot or something. It tugged a little bit. She was very upset. She chased her around the house with a whip until they got to the roof, where she pushed her off of the roof. This poor little 8-year-old girl was brushing her hair, accidentally tugged it, and was pushed off a roof trying to escape the whip. This led to, like, a big investigation of the mansion because, what? Like,
Of course.
You know, that doesn't happen every day. And it definitely should not be happening at all, you know? And so, the LaLauries were actually found guilty of illegal cruelty. And they were forced to give up, like, 2 enslaved people, I believe.
Only 2?
Only 2. LaLaurie used to beat her children if they asked
for food
when they attempted to feed themselves / others. The fire was on April 10th. It broke out in the kitchen. They found a 70-year-old cook chained to the stove by the ankle. They believe it to be a suicide, but they're not sure.
Well, if there was a fucking fire, how was that a suicide?
Because they think the cook started the fire so she could escape.
Would that even still be considered a fucking suicide? Not in today's terms, I don't think. Maybe back then, but now, that ain't no goddamn suicide. That's a cry for help. Poor girl.
Bystanders who responded to the fire were refused entry into the quarters. Doors were broken down, and around 7 people were horribly mutilated, suspended by the neck. Their limbs were stretched and torn off of their bodies. After the fire, when a bunch of, like, the abuse was uncovered by, you know, the general public,
by officials,
a big mob of people went to the house.
And like in the cartoons with fucking flames and shit?
Yeah, they just demolished the house. They broke in, they ruined everything. They were like, fuck you.
Well, I mean...
Good.
Yeah, good. But yeah.
After the fire, she actually fled to Paris. She lived in exile with her mom and sisters until she died. She didn't tell her family back in France anything about what she had done in the States. She didn't say a word to them about what had happened.
Did they ever... Not like, how did they find out, do you know?
I don't think they did find out.
She may have died due to a bear?
A bear attack, yeah. She was out hunting bears and almost, I guess she died.
You know what? Go bear.
Go bear.
Go the bear.
Bears have good instincts, apparently.
What the hell? That's like, you guys, this is so off topic, but you guys ever see that story of that poultry lady that was hunting down elephants? And it was about to kill a baby elephant. And so the mama elephant found her and quite literally trampled her, killed her, showed up to her funeral, like whipped her around a bit, and then left.
Killed her twice. Fuck that hoe.
Like, pisses us off now, you know, how everything happened. But in that age, that was so,
like, normal.
That was so common. That was so
and, like,
typical.
Accepted. Yeah.
So it's like, obviously we don't see that now as being okay. Thank fucking God.
Yeah, thank God.
But like, you know what I mean? Back in those days, it was just such a different era and such a different time in the world that was, I'm sure that was not the only house where that happened in, you know what
definitely.
I mean?
Maybe not as like intense as
Yeah,
this,
but like,
but something along these lines.
yeah, that's insane. That is fucking wild.
Miss LaLaurie fled and like the mob destroyed the house. This guy decided it was a great idea to rebuild on it. And it was used as a public high school.
Creepy as fuck.
And it was turned into a like museum for music at one point. And then it was turned into apartment buildings for young refugees. A bar, a furniture store, like it was honestly, it had been everything under the sun. And now it's a museum, I believe.
Standing out, right?
That's what's standing out. You can still go visit everything because, I mean, they've already taken down the high school and stuff. But they've made like a museum about it. The current owner right now bought it for $2.1 million in 2010.
Wow.
And his name was Michael Wheaton. So
that is fucking insane. If you guys have any suggestions as to,
let us know which one was to research next.
Yeah, Katie has a lot of free time.
I do.
She actually really does not. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day.
Amazing rest of your week.
Don't forget to smile, be happy, live it the fuck up. Make sure you guys eat something.
And pet a doggy. Pet a doggy.
Pet a doggy. Pet a doggy. Not a random dog. I've realized that I say that all the time, and it's like, what if you don't have a dog? Don't just pet any random dog though, because
some of them are mean.
Yeah, you never know. Like if you encounter us, you might be fucked. Anyways, we're gonna go. Bye. We still have no nails.